Hello everyone and welcome back to the Poke ETF channel, where we combine Pokemon and data analytics together to keep track of our precious collection. And in today's video we will be going through the ultimate release guide of Stellar Crown, because Stellar Crown is the most recent released Pokemon set that was released last Friday, September 13, 2024. So happy post release weekend. And so in this video we will be going through the pull rates, the rarity breakdown, the generation breakdown, the top 10-20 most expensive cards from the set, and the last 4 days price swing, whether this is a crash or not, and my thoughts and prediction of Stellar Crown. And so before we begin, please hit that like button because it goes a long way in supporting the channel, and subscribe to the channel so that you're always up to date on the most time sensitive videos, because unfortunately I don't really post that often. I pretty much post maybe one video a month, one video every 2 weeks, and so when I release a video I hope that you get that notification. And comment below on whether you are buying into Stellar Crown or any other question. A lot of you have been asking me questions. I'm just a fellow collector, fellow investor, just combining my real world knowledge plus my passion, which is data and Pokemon together. And so let's go into an overview of Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown has 6 full art trainers for you, full art trainers collector: Briar, Lacey, Crispin, and Kofu. And then the 2 special illustration rares, the Briar and Lacey. And then the illustration rares, these are the 4 that I'm really trying to collect: the Bulbasaur, of course, and the Squirtle, of course, to go along with the Charmander ETB promo of the Obsidian Flame and the Raboot and the Zeraora. Those are the top 4 illustration rares for me. And then the special illustration rare, to be honest, I'll be skipping these, but these are your 4 special illustration rares. Of course, we have a Terrapagos EX, which is currently the most expensive card in the set, and currently the second most expensive out of the whole entire Scarlet and Violet era. And then of course the Gen 1, I know a lot of you, there's a lot of us that are collecting Gen 1, and these are the Gen 1 illustration rare. Of course, the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle. And if you've been following my channel and if you've been following the trend, you know that Gen 1 illustration rares are off the roof. And so who knows whether these Bulbasaur and Squirtle will be the same, whether they will be spiking in the next 6-12 months. And now let's talk about the pull rates of Stellar Crown. The reason why we talk about the pull rates is because pull rate is a very good indicator of whether a set is investable or collectible. I believe pull rates is one of the top 3 indicators of whether a set is investable or collectible. The first is pull rate, the second is the rarity breakdown, like the number of SIRs and IRs and hyper rares in the set, and third is a generation breakdown, how much percent is Gen 1 in the set or Gen 9 in the set. And so that is why in this channel, or all these ultimate release guide, I talk about these 3 indicators, because these 3 indicators are pretty much foolproof of whether a set is investable or collectible. And so let's talk about the pull rate. This is a very quick snapshot of all the pull rates of all the Scarlet and Violet set. For those who want to take a snapshot, feel free to take a snapshot of this, but let's go in order. So double rares, double rare, the pull rates for every set is pretty much virtually the same. 1 in every 6 packs you'll get a double rare. It has not changed. Of course, these are according to various sources, especially the TCG player source and many other content creator sources. Then the A-Spec rares that started from Temporal Forces is pretty much 1 in 20 packs that you'll get an A-Spec rare, pretty much the same as Temporal Forces, same as Twilight Masquerade. Then the ultra rare, 1 in 15 packs that you'll pull an ultra rare of Stellar Crown, pretty much the same virtually every set in Scarlet and Violet era. But then things started to change. In for illustration rare, it's the same as well. 1 in 13 packs you'll get an illustration rare, but as I said, it started to change in special illustration rare. You can see that from Paradox Rift, it was 1 out of 47 packs to pull an SIR. Then Paldean Faith, 1 out of 58. Then Temporal Forces, 1 out of 86. Then Twilight Masquerade, same thing, 1 out of 86. Shrouded Fable, 1 out of 67, so a little lower. And Stellar Crown is 1 out of 90 packs that you will pull in special illustration rare. And I feel this is the reason why some of these sets will hold more value than a set compared to Obsidian Flame or the Scarlet and Violet base set. Paldean Evolve is really an outlier, but pull rates is a really good indicator whether a set will do well or not if everything else is equal. Now let's get into the rarity breakdown. As I said, rarity breakdown is also a good indicator whether a set will do well or not. Looking at the commons, Stellar Crown has 71 commons. I mean, look at the comparison. It's pretty much up par to Twilight Masquerade. Twilight Masquerade has 76 common. Temporal Force has 71 common. So pretty much average around 70, 80-ish common, and so pretty much the same. Looking at the uncommon, there are 39 uncommons of Stellar Crown compared to like the 50s or 60 uncommon in the other set, other than the special set. Obviously, Paldean Fates 25, Shrouded Fable 20, those are your special set. But the main sets, there are pretty much around 60 50s uncommon in the main set, and Stellar Crown has 39 uncommon. And then the rares, there are 15 rares in the Stellar Crown set, pretty much on par with the Twilight Masquerade 16, Temporal Force 14, Paldean Fates 16, and so pretty much the same. Then the double rare, 14 double rares in Stellar Crown, pretty much the same as Twilight Masquerade at 14. Temporal Forces has 15 double rares, and then Scarlet 151 has 13 double rares, and Paradox Rift has 20 double rares, and so pretty much on par. Then the IR, there are 13 illustration rares in Stellar Crown compared to the 15 in Shrouded Fable, 21 in Twilight Masquerade, 22 in Temporal Forces. Paradox Rift has 34 illustration rares. That's why I feel Paradox Rift is extremely undervalued. I think Paradox Rift is, a side note, I think Paradox Rift is an undervalued set compared to the other set. Obviously, Paldea Evolve, everyone's focusing on either Paldea Evolve and Twilight Masquerade. And then the special illustration rare, there are 6 special illustration rare in Stellar Crown, pretty much one of the lowest number of special illustration rare out of all of the main set of Scarlet and Violet era. And so I feel that's a good indication of why Stellar Crown will not be a good set. I mean, there's a reason why we always say Obsidian Flame is not a good set, because Obsidian Flame, there are 6 special illustration rare. Is it a coincidence that Obsidian Flame is considered not a good set and it's also the lowest number of SIR? I don't think so. I think the number of rares, the number of secret rares, the generation breakdown, and pull rate, all 3 of these are your top 3 indicators of whether a set will be good or not, whether it will be investable or not, or whether it will be collectible or not. Then the hyper rares, there are 3 hyper rares in Stellar Crown, pretty much one of the lowest number of hyper rares out of all of the set, other than the Obsidian Flame. Obsidian Flame has 3, Scarlet Violet 151 has 3, and so every other sets have more than 3. And so again, Stellar Crown has the lowest number of secret rares in the set. Of course, as I said, as we just went through, it has pretty much the similar number of common, similar number of uncommon, similar number of rares. But when you get into the secret rares, the number of secret rares, I'm talking about ultra rares, special illustration rares, illustration rare, hyper rare, the number of secret rares is lower than every other sets. And so that's why I think Stellar Crown will not be a good set to invest in, but it will be a great set to collect because of the small number of rarities in this set. And so look, this is the overview out of all of the set. You can see, as I said, Stellar Crown is pretty much a very low number of cards for a main set of a Scarlet and Violet era set. And then looking into the generation breakdown, Gen 1 is your blue, Gen 2 is orange, Gen 3 is red, Gen 4 is your light blue, Gen 5 is green, Gen 6 is yellow, Gen 7 is purple, Gen 8 is pink, and Gen 9 is brown. So let's start with the first set of the Scarlet and Violet era, which is the Scarlet and Violet base set. Of course, it started out strong, representing the Gen 9 Pokemon. Then Paldea Evolved, similarly 40% Gen 9 with 9% Gen 1. Paldea Evolved also represented 14% of Gen 2 Pokemons. Then looking into the Obsidian Flame, you can see that 18% Gen 9, 14% Gen 1. This set featured a lot of Gen 5 Pokemon, which is the green at 19%. Then next is the Scarlet 151 special set. Of course, it's 100% Gen 1. It's pretty much the Gen 1 set. That's why a lot of people consider buying up a lot of Scarlet 151 set and invest heavily into this set. Then Paradox Rift, 31% Gen 9, 5% Gen 1, very low. And then again, look at the green, Gen 5, 19%, and then the red, 13% at Gen 3. And then Paldean Fates, another special set representing 39% Gen 9. And then look at the 22% blue representing Gen 1. Then next is the Temporal Forces. It's pretty much evenly distributed. The blue, orange, red, green, purple. This is a very well-rounded set of representing every generation well. And then the Twilight Masquerade representing 21% of Gen 9 Pokemon. Look at that, 18% of Gen 1 represented a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon. Then Shrouded Fable, 15% Gen 9 Pokemon, and then 17% Gen 1 Pokemon. Then lastly, Stellar Crown, the newest set, 21% are Gen 9, 13% are Gen 1 blue, and then you can see that the green and the orange and the pink and the purple all evenly distributed around 10-11%. And so the top 20 most expensive cards in Stellar Crown, let's start with the top 20 most expensive card out of the whole Scarlet and Violet era. Of course, we have our Greninja, top 1, representing the green from Twilight Masquerade. Then Terrapagos EX, which is a Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown is representing at number 2, and at number 14 with Lacey, the full art trainer, at $52. And so you can see it pretty much well evenly distributed. There's green, there's blue, there's teal, there's orange, there's 2 orange, which is your Paldea Evolved. There are 3 purples, which are your Shrouded Fable, and so pretty much very evenly distributed across every set. Then looking at the Stellar Crown, of course, your top 5 most expensive cards of Stellar Crown are mostly your special illustration rare, and then you have your illustration rare of the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur at top 3 and top 6. And so pretty much, of course, it is not a surprise that your top most expensive cards are your special illustration rares and your illustration rares. Then the generation breakdown, you can see that a lot of brown, which is Gen 9, which is your Terrapagos at top 1, and then top 4 is a Hydrapple EX number 167, and then top 3 is your Squirtle Gen 1, top 6 is your Bulbasaur Gen 1 Pokemon as well. Then the last 4 days price difference, again, usually we would expect a big crash, but you can see it's pretty much a little flat from release date. A lot of content creator out there always start from the pre-release prices, and I think that's a little unfair because at pre-release prices, not a lot of people have access to the cards, and so I always start at release date, and release date for Stellar Crown is September 13. And so looking at the price difference by rarity, there are a total of 175 cards. It would cost you around $527 to collect every single card from Stellar Crown. Common, there are 71 commons, it went down 7%, but it would just cost you a total $3-4 to collect every single common. Then uncommon, there are 39 uncommons, it would just cost you around $3 to collect every single uncommon. Then rares, there are 15 rares, it would cost you around a little under $2 to collect every single rare. Then double rare, there are 14 double rares. It would cost you around $19 to collect every single double rare. Then A-Spec rare, there are 3 A-Spec rare, would cost you a little under $3 to collect every single A-Spec rare. And then the ultra rare, there are 11 ultra rares in the Stellar Crown set. It would cost you around $28 to collect every single ultra rares. Then illustration rare, there are 13 illustration rare, would cost you around $100 to collect every single illustration rare. And then special illustration rare, there are 6 special illustration rare, would cost you a little under $300 to collect every single special illustration rare, and you can see it went down $9, went down 3%, so this is not really a crash from release date. And then hyper rare, there are 3 hyper rares, would cost you around $55 to collect every single hyper rare. It went down $4, representing a 7% decrease, and so overall, the whole entire set went down 2% overall from release date. This is your 4-day price swing of 2% decrease. Usually we would see double-digit percent decrease, but for Stellar Crown, it's not a crash actually. And so again, this is from release date prices to 4 days later, and so a lot of people out there are usually compare from pre-release prices, but again, as I said, I feel that's a little unfair and not a good representation of how things are going in terms of card prices. And so there you have it, Stellar Crown. These are my thoughts because Stellar Crown represent the lowest number of cards, especially number of secret rares, and also the pull rates. Pull rates are very equal to the last 3 main set, but it also featured less Gen 1 Pokemon. I mean, you have your Squirtle and Bulbasaur as Gen 1 IR, but again, because of the number of secret rares in this set, I don't think it's an investable set, but it is a very good collectible set. And so I really think you should just be buying singles, because it does not make sense to buy 100 packs of this set and not be able to collect every single card. I mean, again, as I said, it would cost you around $500 to collect every single card of Stellar Crown. $500 divided by around $3 or $4 is around 160 packs. Imagine buying 160 packs right now. I guarantee you will not get every single card in Stellar Crown. I repeat, if you buy 160 packs of Stellar Crown, you will not get every single card of Stellar Crown. But take that money, $500, and buy every single singles on TCG Player right now. You get a 100% guarantee if you spend that $500 to buy every single single of Stellar Crown. And so that's why I said, don't buy packs, don't rip packs. If you like a single, if you want to buy that Bulbasaur, if you want to buy that Squirtle, buy it as a single, or maybe wait 6 months later, because a lot of times these cards will go down. And so there you have it, your ultimate release guide of Stellar Crown. Again, I hope you find this video extremely valuable in your collecting journey, and so if you do, please hit that like button because it goes a long way in supporting the channel, and subscribe to the channel so that you're always up to date on the most recent videos, because I do not post often. And comment below if you have any questions. I always love to help fellow collectors and investors. And so with that, go forth and collect them all.